You're welcome back. This is NewsFile, it's the most authoritative news analysis platform, and here is Samson's take. And I title it, Fix the Country, a New Constitution, Accountable Constitution. Now the wealthy and middle class in Ghana must be waking up to the consequences of their silence and docility exploited by politicians for their parochial ends. I'm talking about the majority of you who can't seem to be bothered about what some politicians can do with your country, the bad policies and endemic corruption. Yesterday was International Anti-Corruption Day. Nobody has been bothered because we are tired, are we not? In fact, you tell yourself that leading, joining, or supporting other citizens to advocate, demand, or insist on good governance does not make sense because you are comfortable. Advocacy and activism should be left to CSOs and some jobless youth or opposition party. Now you are angry because your sweat and toil, savings, and even pensions are at stake at the risk of being wiped off completely. You have been asking why you should lose so much for no fault of yours. Your biggest mistake is to continue to be a spectator instead of a citizen. The president asked you at the very start to be a citizen and not a spectator. You ought to keep to that, whether he listens or he refuses to. I mean, a citizen who understands that ultimate political power, that is the sovereignty of Ghana, springs from you, resides in you, and rests with you, as the Constitution dictates. And that the powers of government are to be exercised in your name and for your welfare. You didn't check your Constitution. That is what it says. So it becomes a sin for you to feel helpless because persons you have given power and who live on your tax and at your pleasure disrespect you this much. The level of poverty is not appreciated because they will rather spend on a needless cathedral purely for votes from a blinded and hypocritical Christian community with charlatanic leadership than fix this broken Ajiringano Adama Basic School building, where the kids are scared to go to school or get parents of these kids scavenging to survive onto the LEAP program. This building will kill the kids for sure, and our leaders will take up the cost of the funeral in the name of helping the parents. These kids being filmed eating from the dustbins may grow in prisons where reformation hardly takes place, and they'll return to abuse drugs and with the skill to rob with arms. They are asking you to pay more taxes so they can spend on wasteful entities they refuse to cut down or downsize, and on needless huge numbers of party foot soldiers turned into CEOs and personnel they refuse to reduce. Your inaction has meant this country will continue with the ridiculous situation where certain businessmen and businesses will thrive only when NPP or NDC is in power, while others collapse within either regime. Even newspapers and TV and radio stations that depend on adverts, state agencies must be forced to subscribe and place adverts on particular ones as though the taxes are paid by only members of one of the parties. You feel disturbed when people like Professor Kwadwo Appiagyei, the chair, don't hesitate to call this democracy a sham. You rejoice that patriots like Martin Pebu, CSOs and CSO leaders, Fix the Country, are attacked by party people. The Fix the Country started the campaign for a new constitution. And what did you say? You think they don't deserve a hearing. This constitution is obviously not good enough if it will not stop much of the wrong without private citizen action. But how much can a private citizen or individual achieve if their parliament, the place they call the august house or body, cannot pass a mere vote of no confidence in a minister the president refuses to sack despite overwhelming public disapproval of Ken Ofori-Atta? What is the use of this constitution if the so-called minority in an equally split hung parliament, even with the support of over 70% of the so-called majority, cannot compel the president to sack a minister? What's the use of such a constitution? In Sri Lanka, citizens changed the president because of the economic situation without a coup or criminal charges of treason against anybody. The people must be accountable to us. Are they accountable? You cannot sound helpless in this situation. One of the surest ways is to get a fresh constitution for a fresh generation, as preached by Fix the Country. This is my take. Power is in you and not in those you have given the power to. We'll be right back.